Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sachin Hisaria, and in this video we will be going to discuss about the update in new CISA review manual as per new edition of 2024. So as I told you in my previous video guys, I would be providing you the video for all the CISA exam related update. We will be starting this video series with the domain 1. Likewise, you will see the video for domain 2. In domain 3 there are no changes, so domain 4 and 5. So for each the domain I would be making this video, and I would be covering the entire changes in a detail. So in our today's video, like, we will be going to discuss about the domain 1. So in domain 1 they have added one topic guys, which is a artificial intelligence in IS audit. So basically nowadays if you see, there is a lot of uses of AI in day-to-day related activity. So ISACA has added this topic in your domain 1, that as an IS auditor, you should also understand what is an artificial intelligence, what is a machine learning, what is a robotic process automation, and as an auditor, you need to use those technology in the audit as well. Okay. So though this is the topic that has been added in your domain 1, and we will be going to discuss that very much in a detail. So domain 1, earlier the weightage of domain 1 was 21%, which is now currently 18%. So they have overall they have reduced 3% of weightage in domain 1, but the topic has been added. So we will be going to discuss all this topic in a detail. Let's start with the topic 1, artificial intelligence in IS audit. Okay. So basically, what is an artificial intelligence, guys? In a day-to-day scenario, you are also using a lot of AI technology. I will just give you a very basic example of an AI technology. For example, when you are typing something in your mobile, when you're typing something in your laptop or computer, there is a feature of an autocorrect, correct? So that is an artificial intelligence. A lot of people have started using the chat GPT. What is that? That is also an example of artificial intelligence. So basically, AI is increasing being used in many business functions. Okay. So as an auditor, it is very important to detect the fraudulent transactions. Okay. As an auditor, it is very important for us to identify the anomalies in the activities, and that also we can do with the help of AI ML technology. So as an auditor, you can also use certain AI ML technology to identify the fraudulent transactions. Okay. Now, as an auditor, you have to use this technology to increase the overall audit efficiency and to decrease the audit risk. Now, what is an audit risk, guys? Basically, audit risk, if you remember, we have discussed this in our class also. Audit risk is what? Audit risk is calculated with the help of formula IR, which is an inherent risk, multiplied by the control risk, multiplied by the DR risk. So as an auditor, you need to assess what is there, what is the IR, what is the CR of a company. For example, if IR and CR both are high, as an auditor, you need to keep your detection risk low, correct? Okay. So basically, it is very important for auditor to use the AIML technique. Now, what are the techniques that auditor is gonna use, that we will be discussing in the upcoming slides? So as an auditor, we have to use certain AIML techniques to increase the efficiency of audit and decrease the audit risk. Okay. Now, how AI ML will increase the efficiency or decrease the audit risk? Basically, with the help of AI, we would be automating some tedious manual processes, like for example, keeping the audit work paper. Earlier, as an auditor, you have to maintain all the working papers, and then you used to arrange those working paper manually. But now this task can be automated with the help of AI tool. So likewise, you can do the automation of various manual processes that is being done in the audit. We will be going to discuss about this in the upcoming slides as well. So with the help of AI, auditor can remove the manual processes. They can automate the day-to-day related task, which would result into the higher audit efficiency. Similarly, guys, as an auditor, with the help of AI or ML tool, you can increase your sample size. You can do the validation on the entire population instead on a sample basis. Okay, instead of on sample basis, with the help of AI ML technique, you can perform the validation on entire population, which will give you a greater assurance as compared to the sample verification. So with the help of that also, you can decrease your audit risk. Correct, guys? The more sample you will select, okay, the more sample you will select, it will result into a decrease of the detection risk. Correct, lower of the detection risk. Okay, so this is an use of artificial intelligence in the audit. When I talk about an artificial intelligence in, okay, whenever, like, being an auditor or being a company or being a developer, whenever we talk about artificial intelligence, we should know about an NLP. NLP stands for natural language processing. So this is like a brain of AI. For example, you see that in chat GPT, you are writing something and it is giving you answer because somebody have built an NLP. So NLP is like a brain of AI. This NLP is being trained using a lot of algorithms, okay, so that it can think like a human. It can think like a human. So it is being developed in a such a way, okay, so that machine can understand the human data, okay, and basically machine will be having a same kind of interpretations that as a human you are doing. Okay, so NLP is being developed. In order to develop any AI application or any AI module, first we need to develop the NLP, which is a natural language processing. It lies at the heart of application, okay, and it will do the task based on the some logic. So first we need to build an NLP for that. So it is just a terminology which you should know whenever we are discussing about artificial intelligence in the IS audit. Now, in order to summarize this particular topic, what we have discussed here, guys, artificial intelligence in the IS audit. As an auditor, we have to use the EIML technique in our audit so that we can increase overall audit efficiency. We can increase overall audit efficiency and we can decrease the audit risk. Audit risk means what, guys? Audit risk is calculated with the help of formula. Inherent risk, which is also known as a gross risk, which is there before controls are applied. That is an inherent risk. Control risk is a risk of ineffective control. For example, organization have implemented a control, but that control is not working properly. Okay, so that is called as the control risk. Your controls are ineffective, and detection risk refers to a risk that auditors procedures may not be able to detect any fraud or error when they exist. So that is a DR. Okay, so basically the objective of this artificial intelligence is to decrease an audit risk to the extent it is possible. Okay, now, second topic, the role of RPA. RPA stands for Robotic Process Automation and AI within the audit life cycle. For example, this is your normal audit life cycle. Audit life cycle starts with what? Audit setup, audit plan, audit fieldwork, and reporting. So basically, if I say on a higher level, so first step is a planning. Okay. Second phase is an execution, and third phase is a reporting. Correct. This is the higher level steps of any audit. So first, the audit steps are given, the tasks are being given, and then how you can automate this task with the help of RPA. Now there is another terminology, guys, which is called as an RPA. RPA stands for robotic process automation. Robotic process automation. Now, how this RPA works in a real life, let me give you one practical example here. For example, guys, as an auditor, we are performing a user access review verification, correct? We do verify this particular control, whether organization have performed user access review effectively or not, correct? Now, in order to check this, what we ask, first we ask for the evidences that what you have performed, provide me some email evidences or some ticket, okay, through which I can verify, okay, somebody from the organization have performed the user access review, and that is a supporting evidence for the same. Now, second is what, as an auditor, you can also ask for the application data. Okay, in the application data, you will see the list of all the users which are there in the application. Similarly, you can ask one more data, which is an HR active employee list. HR active employee list, and you can compare both the data to identify, is there any employee who have left the company as per HR data, but still they are in the applications. Correct, guys? As an auditor, you can do this kind of analysis as well. Now, this is a manual analysis. For example, if my company is not using an RPA solution, then as an auditor, I have to do a manual working where I will apply some VLOOKUP. I will apply the VLOOKUP and I will identify, was there any user who have left a company but still there in the applications. Now, with the help of RPA, you can automate this particular control. Now, how you can automate this particular control, guys? So basically in RPA, basically what happen is you need to made certain bots. So it works basis on bots. So one would be a collector bot. There would be one collector bot. Okay. What collector bot will do, guys? Collector bot will collect the data. So here collector bot will collect the data from the applications. So it will collect the user list in the applications, and it will also collect the data from HRMS applications. Okay. And now the second bot would be there, which is known as an analyzer bot. Now, analyzer bot, in the analyzer bot, what you need to do is you need to define some logic that first you need to identify one common field in both the data, then you need to compare the data and you need to give me the exception count. So in the analyzer bot, you will build some logic, and as per that logic, it will process the data. Okay. It will process the data, and then after processing the data, it will give you the exception. So that can be done through a reporting bot. Okay. So this bot will give you the exception. You can configure certain email ID. Okay. On that email ID directly, you will get the exception count that this many users are there. So basically, instead of manual process, you have automated this task with the help of RPA tool. Now you might be thinking, Sachin, what are the RPA tools available in the market? There are a lot of RPA tool, guys. For example, there is one vendor very famous, known as an automation edge. Okay. Automation edge technology. They are providing an RPA solutions. Okay. So like you can onboard those kind of vendor, and they will provide you the assistance related to what kind of process you can automate with the help of AI. Similarly, there is another example, guys. Druid is there. Okay, this is also an RPA tool which is providing you a facility to do the automation in the audit function. So nowadays in the market, there are a lot of RPA tools available which an auditor can use, and he can automate his day-to-day related task. Okay. So in this topic, we will be going to discuss that only, that what is the role of this RPA and AI tool in the entire audit life cycle. So first step is what? Audit setup. So guys, in the audit setup, generally what you do basically, you select the candidates, you plan for the audit, you identify the inherent risk and dependency of associated business function. So as a part of audit setup, you are doing this. As a part of audit planning, you are communicating your audit scope to the auditee. You are documenting the key risk and control. So basically we prepare our detailed RCM, and we understand the process landscape. So this is what we do as a part of audit planning. Now, how an RPA tool can help you in the audit planning? So basically this tool, what they can do, guys, they can provide you a ready view of similar audit comparable business functions and audit type. They can provide you a kind of report, okay, where you can see what are the comparable business functions, what was the type of audit, what was the finding. So they can provide you that comparison. Okay. It can also help you to prepare the checklist. For example, guys, there are tools available in the market. For example, I want to do an audit as per some circular, as per some regulatory requirement. So what you can do, guys, you can provide that checklist to the RPA. That RPA tool will read your checklist, and based on that checklist review, he will provide you a detailed checklist that what kind of check you have to perform on that audit. So that kind of automation is also possible with the help of RPA. Okay, they can like they can give you this kind of checklist. Okay, you can do a keyword based analysis. You can populate and share the findings based on initial analysis of SOP, guys. So for example, once you get an data, like first obviously to check the design and all, we get the SOPs from the auditee, correct? We get the policies, procedures from the company. So with the help of RPA tool, they can identify the gaps. Suppose if something is not documented in the policy, like there was a regulatory requirement that company need to take a backup for at least 8 years. That is something which was written in the regulatory requirement. And when the client have provided you a backup policy, in the backup policy there was nothing mentioned about the retention period. So with the help of RPA, like RPA can do the analysis of regulatory requirement versus what was written in the SOP, and it can give you the findings as well, initial findings. Okay. Keyword based analysis it can do. Okay. And rule engine to extrapolate the outcome of analysis. So basically, this RPA tool will help you in the audit setup and your audit planning. Similarly, it will help you in the audit field work and the reporting as well. It will help you in the field work also. Like I have already given you one example for the field work, correct? With the help of RPA, we have automated the verifications of user access review activity, whether it was efficiently performed by the company or not. So that is the field work of auditor, where we evaluate the as is process. We try to identify the issues and observations, so that you can do the automation with the help of RPA tool. Even with the help of RPA tool, you can populate the sample size as well. You can define certain risk indicator into the tool, and based on that risk indicator, it will give you the samples as well. A lot of big fours are using the tools to get the samples, correct? So they are using that technology. Okay. So it will help you for detecting the fraudulent transactions as well, guys. So this way, RPA can help you in the auditing fieldwork as well. And at the end, it will help you, the auditor, in the reporting as well. Okay, with the help of RPA tool, you can develop an audit report as well. Okay, it can give you the data visualizations. Okay, suppose if you found some gaps or queries, so that can present your data in a different format, which you can present to the stakeholder, which you can present to the management, and it will also help you in the drafting of audit observations as well. So this is the role of RPA and AI within your audit life cycle. So on the one hand, we have seen the audit life cycle. This is my audit life cycle. What are the tasks that I do perform in this audit life cycle? And what is the role of RPA and AI? How the RPA and AI can help you to automate this task. So this is what we have discussed in this particular slide. Now, next, AI ML techniques, guys. So basically, if you remember in the first slide, we have discussed that as an auditor, we have to use an AI ML technique. Now, what are those techniques that we can use? So first here is what? Document classification. So in the market, a lot of tools are available, guys, which can help the organization to classify the document based on their severity, and based on the content which is being written into the document. So basically what happens is, guys, organization have their own data classification policy, where as per the data classification policy, user need to classify a data. So one, user do a manual classification. Second, organization can use a tool which will help them to classify the data automatically. Okay, so there are document classification tool available that can help the users to classify the document. Similarly, guys, in the audit also, whatever your audit working papers are there, whatever your audit supportings are there, audit reports are there. So you can use this document classification tool to classify those documents. Okay. And this tool can also evaluate the SOPs policies. Based on their evaluation, it can also classify those SOPs and policies as well. So this is one of a technique. This is a technique. Okay. which an auditor can use in the audit: document classification. Second is a text summarization. As the name suggests, guys, what this technique will do, this technique will help the auditor to prepare the executive summaries, or sometime to prepare the audit observations as well. Okay, so in this technique, what will happen as an auditor, whatever feed you will provide, and if you ask that please provide me the summary of this entire text, so with the help of AI/ML, you can do that task, correct? Nowadays, a lot of people are using a chat GPT for this particular task. Okay. So the text summarizations means what, guys? The process of combining a frequently used words, phrases, and topics to generate an natural language summary of text or a document set, correct? So we can use this text summarizations technique, which will help us to summarize some issues in a proper manner, correct? So this is a text summarization. Third is a topic analysis. So auditor can use the topic analysis as well. Like basically, first let me tell you what is a generic use of topic analysis, guys. Topic analysis is basically used to identify the topic name. For example, if you have a bunch of text and you want to figure out what topic this text covers, then they use the topic analysis technique. For example, as a company, you want to understand the issue based on the service ticket raised by the user. So every users are raising some service ticket. So you have a thousands of service ticket. Okay. So suppose management told you that please tell me the topic wise where the users are facing issues. Okay. In which area they are facing more issues. So in that case, they will use a topic analysis. Okay. Topic analysis is used to automatically understand which type of issues being reported on given customer support ticket. Is this ticket is about a billing issue? Is this an account issue? Is this a shipping issue? So it is giving the issue, whatever issues are there, it is assigning some topic to them. So basically, this topic analysis auditor can also use to analyze the data in the audit. Whatever data which is being provided, he can analyze those data and he can build some keywords rule engine for the audit. Okay, that this is the issues which he have founded majorly in all the BFSI domain, correct? So likewise, auditor can use a topic analysis to build some keywords rule engine in the audit, and generally this topic analysis is being used in this manner. So this is also an AI/ML technique. Okay, in this what happened? Analysis performed across a document, group of document or document text to identify the unique topic, that link document or selection of documents. So this is a topic analysis. Then next is a sentiment analysis, guys. Now this is very popular AI/ML technique. A lot of companies are using. So basically, sentiment analysis is an application of NLP. Okay, NLP, as I have discussed in our first slide as well, correct? NLP is like a brain of AI, which will help the computer software to understand text in a same way similar to human. For example, if I am talking negatively to the other person, AI will also identify that this is a negative text. Okay. Okay, these are the negative. This is an abusive language. Correct. So sentiment analysis will use the NLP, like all the AI/ML technique uses the NLP only. Okay. So with the help of that, it will understand the text in a way similar to the human. Okay. And based on that analysis, it will give you the final outcome, that what is the sentiments of the public. For example, if you are a company, okay, if you are one company, someone have done a cyber attack on your company. Now as a customer, you want to see that what is the sentiment of customers, whether they are angry with the company. Suppose you have taken some new initiative and you want to see what is the sentiment for of this new decision. Political party have taken any decision, they want to see what is a sentiment of this new decision on the general public. So they will use a sentiment analysis for that. Okay, that will give you the outcome. Okay, and for this also, like there are a lot of tools available, and this technique have been used by a lot of top companies, like for example Nike or Nike has also used this sentiment analysis technique in 2018. So if you want to study that analysis report, I will provide you this link in the description. Okay, so you can read that report basically so that you will understand how this analysis works. Okay, and as an auditor, you can use this analysis, sentiment analysis technique to identify the key issues and the risk which are there in the company. Okay, and for this also a lot of softwares are available. Okay, some of the name of the software are also given on your screen. So this is a sentiment analysis technique. Okay. Next is a statistical analysis. Now, basically, statistical analysis is being performed to discover certain pattern or trends. So suppose as an auditor, you got some data, some bulky data, and you want to process that data and you want to see the trend in the data. Okay. So for that, you will use a statistical analysis AIML technique, which will help you to aggregate the data and interpret that data with the help of some graphs and other. Okay, so that is called as statistical analysis. Okay, next is a search and retrieval. So basically this technique will help the auditor to search something from the database. Okay, this is a normal technique. For example, on a Google, if you are searching for something, you get the relevant outcome, correct? So the process of searching a database or repository of processed information to retrieval of for the retrieval of document that align the topic or theme enter in the search criteria. So for that we will use a search and retrieval. For example, as an auditor, if you want to search for the relevant documents based on some topic, for example, you have stored some evidences in the database, and now from the database you want to retrieve those evidences. Okay, so you will write some topic name and then it will help you for the search and retrieval. Correct? So this is also a technique which you can use. So guys, in this topic, we have discussed some AI ML techniques which an auditor can use in the audit. Okay, so we have discussed about the application and the use case of this technique. Okay, and what are those technique all about? So this is about an AI ML technique. Okay. Now, next topic is an audit algorithm. So basically, this topic has been introduced, and as per this topic, the expectation here is what? That as an auditor, when you are doing an audit, you also need to understand what algorithm are being used by the company. So basically, what is an algorithm, guys? Algorithm as a concept are often associated with mathematical or computer science, which can make them seem intimidating and difficult to understand. For example, guys, in your CISA, there is domain 5 where we are discussing about a cryptography. In a cryptography, we discussed about symmetric encryption or asymmetric encryptions, correct? Which will be used to convert the normal text into a ciphertext. So that also uses some algorithm technique, correct? So as an auditor, it is very important for you to understand the significance of those algorithms. And we need to make sure that organizations are whatever algorithm that organizations are using, those algorithms are secure. Okay, so as an auditor, we are responsible for posing relevant questions, using appropriate tool and interpreting the outcome, and remaining mindful of potential error even with the highly advanced algorithm. So guys, even if organization is using some advanced algorithm, as an auditor, we need to ask them a relevant question to understand how these algorithms are working, whether these algorithms are secure or not, whether someone can hack those algorithms or not. So we needed to understand that particular thing. Okay, now for this also, if you see, now there is a new concept of an algo assurance. Algo assurance. A lot of companies are doing this audit as well. This is a new concept, algo assurance. Like recently, it has been very much in a use. Companies are doing on specific audits for their algo. A lot of big fours are also providing these services. Correct. So they do a specific audit on the algorithm. Okay. So as an auditor, like we just need to focus on this aspect. Okay. We need to ask the auditee what kind of algorithms they are using, whether those are secure or not. Okay. So for example, audit including the checking the, like as a normal audit, as a normal auditor, we check the current state as is process versus what is an ideal process. Okay. So in the same manner, you also need to do this exercise for the algorithm. You need to understand what is the current version. Okay. You also need to do the comparison of current version versus should be version. Okay. And based on that comparison, if you found any gap that that algorithm is not secure, you need to highlight that. And accordingly, auditing needs to take an appropriate action to secure those algorithms. Okay, guys. So this is about an auditing the algorithm. Now, next topic is interpretation of AI ML result. Now, whatever techniques that you have used in the previous slide, once you get the outcome of that technique, as an auditor, you need to interpret the same. Interpretations will be done by the person only. Okay. So as an IS auditor, you need to ensure that testing is designed to answer the question of whether a tool being used is able to answer the question that auditor is asking. So for example, in AI/ML technique, you have built some questions and based on that question, it has processed and it has given you the answer. Now, as an auditor, you need to interpret that answer that whatever tool you have used, whether that tool have given you the correct answers or not, because sometimes AI also may be a biased, because AI will work based on the logic, so it can be a biased result as well. But as an auditor, you have to interpret the same. Okay, guys. Data input must be validated as a part of AI ML assisted audit process upon implementations and periodically. The use of AI ML tool will be useless. The use of AI ML tool will be useless if data being ingested or analyzation is not complete or accurate. Okay. So that is what I told you. Once the data is being processed from AI ML tool as an auditor, you need to check that analysis. You need to make sure that whatever conclusion draw from the AI ML tool, that is not based on some biasness. Okay. So you need to do that comparison. Okay. And support for actual conclusion must be based on the informations. Okay. You need to make sure that whatever conclusions that has been drawn from the AI/ML result, it is based on some insurance only, so some information only. Failure to understand that result include assumptions and it can create some problems. Okay. So basically, suppose the logic which you have used, the logic which you have used in the AI/ML technique, if that logic is incorrect, obviously the outcome will also be incorrect, correct? If your logic is wrong, obviously your outcome would be wrong. So that is the reason, as an auditor, you need to do a thorough analysis of AI/ML result. You need to interpret that and you need to make sure that there is no biasness. Okay. So this is about this topic. The next is what AI/ML audit risk and consideration. Okay. So as an auditor, okay, as an auditor, like this topic was already there. Like as an auditor, we can use certain computer assisted audit techniques. Okay. So basically this AI/ML technique is nothing but it is evaluation of your CAT tool only. Like first, as an auditor, we used to do a lot of manual analysis. Then slowly certain CAT tools come into the picture, come into the market. Auditor has start using those CAT tools. Now there is an advanced technology, which is an AI/ML, okay, which is an advanced version of your CAT tool. So as an auditor, you can use the AI/ML tool, correct? And we have discussed how to use those AI/ML tool, what are the techniques available. So when you use this tool, you need to consider certain aspect, okay? Uh, so you need to consider inadequate testing of AI outcome can produce a questionable result or audit outcome. So basically, it is very, very important that before you use the AI outcomes in your audit, you need to make sure that the appropriate testing is being performed. Okay. and there is no biasness involved in the EIML results. So very thorough testing is required. Very thorough testing is required. As an auditor, you need to document those testing outcomes as well. Okay. So you need to so that if suppose later somebody will questions on your outcome, you can show them that this is the testing, this is the kind of testing we have performed, and this outcome have been drawn based on this tools. Okay, so you need to make sure this that there is proper testing performed on the AIML before you use the outcome of the AIML tools. Okay. Point number two, training data feed to the algorithm. Okay, so whenever you are using a machine learning algorithm, it should be correct, it should be adequate. Okay, and whatever data that you are feeding to the algorithm, that data, okay, that data should have a both the cases, like a usual cases or unusual cases. Okay, so you need to also whenever you are training your algorithm, you need to provide a both kind of data. Okay, in usual scenario, what would be the outcome, in the unusual scenario, what will be the outcome, so that your algorithms are built properly. So we need to give the proper data feeding to our algorithm. Okay, proper data feeding to the algorithm. The tendency to trust the machine's answer is strong, because in general, suppose if any outcome is taken from the AIML, the tendency of trust that the answer would be wrong is on a higher side. In general, I am talking about. Okay, but you can justify it only with the help of your testing results, only with the help of proper training that you have provided to your algorithm. So if you provide a supporting evidence for this too, then only people will people will trust basically your outcomes, which has been derived from the machine learnings. Okay, so it is very important for an auditor to understand this risk. Okay, and appropriate controls needs to be implemented by an auditor to mitigate this risk to extent possible. Okay, using AI tool built by a human introduced the ethics and bias of human judgment and a stereotype. Yes, this risk is there in case of AI. Correct. And are you aware about an act like a European country are already in a process to implement an AI act, basically. So if you will see, guys, there is EU AI Act 2024, which is not yet fully implemented. It is in progress. Okay, and maybe by 2026, in a European country, you will see this law. So basically, suppose if you are a company who is developing some AI tools or a AI application, you need to abide by this law. You need to abide by this law. And in this law, like if you want to read this in a detail, maybe I will provide you the PDF as well, so that you can read about this act. In this act also, there are some risk which has been identified. I will show you that. Okay, I will just show you. Yeah, so you can see. Okay, so basically there are some AI tools which will be completely prohibited, because the risk of use of the risk in those AI tool is unacceptable. For example, if you are using AI tool for behavior manipulations, okay, if you are using that for a social scoring by public authority, real-time remote biometric identification for law enforcement. Okay, so there are some AI tools which they are saying that these are prohibited, you cannot use. There are some AI tool which has a high risk. So for those, you need to do the assessment, you need to comply with this act. Okay, and there are limited risk and there are minimal risk as well. So what I'm trying to tell you here is the use of AI is evolving day by day. So European country have they are already in a process to build an act on the same. Okay, and to make sure that whatever companies are there who are building this AIML tool, they comply with those act. And here in our CISA domain 1, they have added this topic. So as an auditor, you also understand the importance of AI tool. Okay, you can also use this AI tool in your auditing to the extent possible. Whenever you are using this, you need to consider the risk which are being associated with the use of AI ML tool. So this is all which has been added to your domain one. Guys, we have discussed all the topics which has been added in domain one. So this is all about our today's session. I hope you have enjoyed this particular session. I would be making some more videos on the other topics as well. Like as I told you, domain wise, I will give you the video. What are the new topics added, so that if some student who have prepared as per the previous syllabus, they can refer to these videos and they can directly understand what are the new topic added. So that is all for my today's video. I hope you like the video. If you want the same for domain 2 as well, guys, please comment in the on the video, that if you are interested for the same discussion for domain 2. If you see, guys, for domain 2 also, I have just made some notes, basically what are the topics that has been added in a domain 2. So if you want a detailed video on the same, do let me know in the comment section so that I can make a detailed video for the same. That is all for our today's session, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you learn something from the video, do not forget to share this with your other friends as well. So that's all. Thank you so much for the watching. See you in some next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Thank you, guys.